3 like conferences in Nanaimo over the last like 4 years. Jonathan came to like 1 or 2 of those meetings, and I led worship at them. You were one of them? Oh, that's awesome.
That's where AJ and I met.
That's crazy. Yeah, so we...
Picking up your brother from the ferry.
Yeah.
Ezra McDonald's van.
That's crazy.
Serious?
That's awesome. So yeah, my parents had ministered here before, and I was there, and that's where I met Jonathan a couple years ago, and we've been connecting more in the last year. But anyway, they have a church in Langley called the River Fellowship. My wife and I have, we moved to Vancouver about a year and a bit ago. We really love the city. We had our hearts for the city for like 5 years, and God kind of opened a way for us to live in the heart of downtown, like right downtown. We just love it. We have 2 kids. My son's 5, he goes to school. And my daughter's 19 months, and she's a comedian. She's really funny. Like, she's really funny. And it's hard to discipline a girl, because she's just, I don't know, I'm always, like, paranoid of being hard, so I'm, like, maybe a little overcompensating on the other side. But, it's okay. It's okay, she's a princess, isn't it? But my wife's, like, she's, like, teaching me to... She's making me do things she doesn't like taking her pigtails out, or like, I don't know, stuff she doesn't like. Because it's like, as soon as it's bedtime, she runs to Dad. And it's like, sorry, I got to put you to bed soon. But we have a little happy family, and we've been called by God to do something in the city, and we believe it's going to be a church. Right now, we have a small group right now. It's just like humble beginnings. We're starting small, just waiting, just abiding, and just really wanting God to show in His perfect timing the right thing for us. So we're really excited. If you can read about our story, and we even preach about just how God called us and how crazy it was. If you go to welovevancouver.ca, that's our site, and there's a sermon on there. Welovevancouver.ca. So yeah, listen to the sermon. Thanks for having me. Good night. Just kidding. When Jonathan Christie's in the audience, you got to make some kind of joke like that. And you even watch him preaching at Genesis, and he was like, yeah, so during pre-service prayer today, I was asking the Holy Spirit what I should preach on, and apparently his pastor was like, and he's like, I'm just kidding. But there's a problem with being a Jonathan or a Jonny, that you say just kidding way too fast. You should really let it go on a bit longer. It's like, hey guys, just kidding. But it's like, all I heard is just kidding. I couldn't hear the first part. I kind of have that problem. You can tell me to slow down if I talk too fast. Sometimes I sound like Jimmy Fallon, and I'm just like, oh, that's a great show. Like, I just kind of get a bit fast. But I just wanted to give some prophetic words, if that's all right. I just felt like something landed on me to give some words. So, where's Tammy? Tammy, hey, when you were worshiping up there, I just saw your heart. It was just so pure and just so close to the Father, and it was just like, you have such a pure heart of love for Him. And I immediately just thought of like John 15:5. I am the vine, you are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. And that you're so connected to the vine. You're a branch. You're so connected, and I just see so much fruit bearing in your life already and in the future. And I just like, you're so where you need to be, and you're so safe, like connected to the vine. You're so connected. And when you're a branch, like branches don't look like this. They're like sometimes feel all over the place. Like it's like it looks twisted, but it's not twisted. It's like it's intentional. And God is the author, perfecter of your faith, and He's guiding your steps. And He sees the end from the beginning. So yeah. Yeah, I don't know, what else we got going? Does anybody want a word?
Yeah.
I don't know, my mom always does that. I mean, instead of just like giving words, she's like, anybody want a word? And there's like 50 hands to go up, and she's just like, quickly, I can't do them all, but I don't know, maybe I can. What's your name?
Me?
Yeah.
Francine.
Francine.
Yeah.
Do you have a dishwasher at your house, or do you manually wash dishes?
I have to wash them by hand.
You wash them by hand?
I have to.
You have to?
I don't have a dishwasher.
You don't have a dishwasher. That's what I saw.
Yeah.
I saw you washing dishes, and I just saw the Father saying, He's with you. When you're washing dishes, He's just right there. And it's actually an opportunity to be with Him. Okay. And like He's going to meet you in a new way while you wash dishes. And washing dishes is funny, because it's like, I feel like our generation, like, half did it and then half it stopped. Like in the 90s when I was like a teenager, it's like dishwasher came, saved me from a multitude of sins. And I didn't have to worry about it as much. But right now we don't have a dishwasher, but there's something about when I wash dishes by hand, it's like you're forced to stay in that moment, and you can't just load it and then run. You're stuck there for like 40 minutes. So if you want to connect with God, it's like a really good opportunity. But I just saw the Father with you when you're like washing dishes and just meeting you and like fellowshipping with you.
Yeah.
And He's just, I don't know, bless you.
And sometimes I like worship and I sing.
Sometimes you worship? Well, yeah, keep
I
it up.
worship
Maybe God's
and
just
sing
saying
when
He
I'm
loves
doing
that time.
dishes. Thank you.
It's like you're cleaning the outside of the glass, God's cleaning the inside of the glass.
Amen.
It's just a little
Thank you.
kind of a joke, but it's true, you know.
It is true. It's true.
I don't know what else we got going on.
This one.
Anything else? Well, we can just start talking. You really want to wear it, hey? That's good. That's good. What's your name? Jenny. I'm Jonny, so just trade that E for an O, and there we go. Didn't mean to rhyme.
That was good.
I like your word about if you've been forgiven much, you'll love much. And there's one thing I think to get a Bible verse or to get something from the Word and to get it from the Holy Spirit and to share it. But there's another thing when there's like weight behind it, and I feel like in your life there's weight behind that verse where you've had to forgive when it wasn't necessarily deserved to that person. And maybe in your family you've had to extend forgiveness when it was hard and it was not automatic, it was a choice, and that you're going to bear much fruit from that, and that you're going to reap a harvest of love, you know. You're sowing in forgiveness, you're going to reap love. So bless you for that. I'm going to open my notes. If I get more, maybe I'll just share more words while I talk. But I just have like a simple word, and basically, you ever heard the expression FOMO? Fear of missing out? You know FOMO? Like that one friend of yours that just like wants to be there for everything. I like have FOMO. Like we heard someone explain that phrase, my wife and I, and we looked at each other, we're like, well, there's a phrase to explain your last like 27 years of existence. Like, I'm like, whoa, what are you guys doing over there? Oh, what's happening now? And like, oh, you didn't hear? We're doing this. Oh, okay, yeah, I'm there. Like, oh, what's going on? And it's like, if I go to bed and then I find out the next day what happened because I went to bed, like something else happened somewhere else, it's like, oh man. And my son, like, he's like a great kid, and he's like, he loves to hang out. And then sometimes, like pretty much every day, it's like bedtime. He's like, no, like it's like he just doesn't want to miss out. And if he hears our friends come over and he goes to the living room, and he used to come out and just be like, I gotta pee again, and then he just kind of sit down in the living room, and it's like, okay, you gotta go to bed. Like he loves it. So I was thinking about fear of missing out, and it's kind of funny, but I'm here to tell you that fear will actually make you miss out. If you have fear, you will miss out. Fear will rob you of many golden moments and the ability to enjoy the present, to enjoy the present time, the present day, being present with God and with people. Fear will make you miss out on that. I want to tell you a little bit about my wife and I when we were dating. We've been married for 7 years. We started young. I guess we're still young. If I shave, I look like I'm 12, so I'm not allowed to shave in our house. My wife doesn't want to be seen with a 12-year-old husband. 2 kids and a 12-year-old husband. Maybe people would donate to our ministry then. But when we were dating, I met my wife when I was 18, she was 19. We met at University Trinity in Langley. But basically from the time I was friends with her to the times we started liking each other, to dating, to engaged, and to when we first got married, I had a lot of fear. And when we were engaged, I went through about 1.5 years of being tormented terribly by demons. Every day for about 4 or 5 hours at work. I worked in a warehouse in Richmond, and it was really bad. But lots of the things, I don't live in regret, but I noticed that lots of things that should have been golden, precious moments, because I didn't know my authority yet. There's a whole other story of me coming into my authority. I went to a conference actually in Spokane, Healing Rooms Conference in 2007, and this wonderful elderly couple prayed for me. This beautiful, like, really quiet couple from Ireland, and I shot across the room like 10 feet, and they delivered me from a spirit of fear, and then they gave me homework, because you have homework too sometimes, and they gave me a bunch of verses to meditate on, to not choose to go down the path of fear. But because of that fear, I had a lot of fear about my wife. I had a lot of fear about her past. I had a lot of fear because she didn't always serve the Lord when she was in high school. She kind of ran off because she didn't know anything real, and it just didn't seem worth it. And it's like, I don't even blame her now, It's like she was just having to find God for herself, not just do what her parents always did. She had to actually meet God. She didn't know him as a loving father. But I had so much fear, and I would ask her so many questions out of fear, and I wanted to know everything. And like, there's certain moments that I missed, and I don't live in regret, because I want to talk to you guys tonight, and maybe this word is for one or two of you, and I want it to go so deep into your heart, because I want to spare you from what I went through, And it's like, that's God kind of taking vengeance. When you go through hard stuff, you learn something as a result, and then you can prevent other people from doing the same thing.
Yeah.
But I want to tell you that I trusted anxious feelings and emotional feelings in my heart. I was a fool. And so fear will make you miss out, right? And there's a verse. Yeah, I'm going to tell you the verse. The second point then is fear masks itself. It masks itself as discernment. So when you're in fear and you get those promptings in your heart, that's in the moment you think it's discernment. Because you're like, oh no, what if this is the truth? And you're like, oh, my heart's beating really fast. That must be God. And